Hi, this is the Senior Math Prize. I first heard about this student when he was in fifth grade. Teachers were talking about this kid who sold a phone app to Apple. He picked up Java programming apparently on his own because they didn't teach that in fifth grade. Go figure. A few years later, I coached him a bit when he was participating in a math counts competition in middle school. And then he tested out of pre-calculus after the summer of eighth grade, so that I had him as a freshman in my BC calculus class. Some people were concerned about how he'd fit in at that age, but not to worry. He loved the interactive nature of the class and my emphasis on justifying with proofs. One of my favorite stories about him, which I repeat often, is about the time that I asked the BC calculus class to see if they could figure out a way to find the integral of natural log of x. This was before I had talked about integration by parts in calculus. I didn't expect anyone to really find a method, although I did have someone the previous year who did it by trial and error. This student, however, realized that since logarithms were inverses of exponential functions, he used a geometric relationship between this integral of natural log of x and the integral of e to the x. The method was fairly ingenious, and I sent the solution off to the mathematics teacher magazine. The editor literally mailed me back in 5 minutes saying he'd like to publish it. It appeared in the October 2017 issue. Later, after he accepted it for publication, he said he shared the method with a Russian colleague who said, "Well, of course, in Russia, all ninth grade students do it this way." I emailed back to see if she was being facetious, and he said, of course she was. After BC Calculus, the student was in my multivariable calculus class, where again he excelled. I love it when students can anticipate upcoming theorems by looking at natural extensions to what they've learned. A typical conversation with him might start out as, "Hey, wait, isn't this like," and, "Well, why can't you then?" After multivariable calculus, he took several years of courses online, as well as doing research on topics such as big data as a sophomore. It involved analytics of health data, and he also worked with a professor at Bowling Green State University, attended his graduate classes, and worked with him on his RNA research. That intensive was called the Math of Bioinformatics. He does all this with enthusiasm, but also matter-of-factly. He is a joy to teach. He takes the initiative in pursuing areas of interest not offered at the school. He can take an idea and run with it, and probably put it to music in the band he's in. Oops, I guess that last bit gave it away, that this year's Senior Math Prize goes to Jonathan Buchanan.